Hi, welcome to the Virtual Jewish Thought of the Week. This is Rabbi Dan Lewin speaking to you from Dallas, Texas. The goal of these few minutes is to take one idea from the weekly Torah portion, from a festival, from something going on in the Jewish calendar, to analyze it, to apply it to our life, and to live with it for the week. What that means is that it's not just a quote that, oh, well, that's a nice quote, a nice idea. It's something that we should be able to take and throughout the week, in between the cracks of work and taking care of kids or schedule and driving, we should have something in the back of our minds that we're thinking about, that we're working on. That's the real idea of a thought for the week. Okay, this week we're going to add another element to what we've been speaking about for the past few weeks. We talked about the idea, the importance of good memory, of happiness, of making sacrifices. And this week we're going to talk about a theme, a necessary emotion or state of being that is crucial in order to be able to do all the other things we've been talking about. So where do we begin from? In this week's Torah portion, there is a commandment that pertains to the temple. And that commandment is found in Leviticus and Vayikra, chapter 6, verse 6. It says, "Fire shall be kept burning on the altar. It shall not go out." So that's something that doesn't really pertain to us nowadays. It has to do with the temple. The temple had an altar where the priests used to come, and it was a positive commandment for them to establish, to create this fire that would burn continuously. Today, actually, in the reminiscent of this command, we have in every synagogue, you have a little light that is burning continuously to remind us of that fire in the temple. But let's go a little bit more into the deeper application of this. So the Talmud says that there was not actually one fire, there were two fires. There was a fire that descended from above, which is one of the many miracles that used to take place in the temple. There were 10 noted miracles. One of the miracles was a fire that used to descend from above. And then there was another fire that we would create, the human being would create. So you had a fire from below, which is the human fire that we would create, the positive command, and then you had the fire from above. The Talmud said, even though there was a fire, a miraculous fire, a gift, a fire from above, it was still important, still a command for there to be a fire from below, a man-made fire. So that's the verse in the Torah, that's the Talmud. Let's talk about what the practical application for us is. Practical application when it comes time to fire is the idea, the metaphor of fire throughout Jewish literature, Kabbalah, and literature in general. Fire, even the way we speak about it, if you say someone has a fire, it means they have a passion or an inspiration. So there's a fire that comes from above. There's a fire that we create. The command is that we have to create a fire. What does that mean? That there is an innate fire, a gift that we have from above, that's the fire from above, that everyone is born with. In our lives, what that would mean is that we have a talent. Some people have a talent, they're a great athlete, they're a scholar, they have a certain skill, and they're interested in that thing. So they have a fire, a natural fire. Then there's a fire that we create. That means a fire that comes through our effort. What does the Talmud say? That even though there is a fire that we have from above, it's a gift, nevertheless, we have an obligation to create the fire ourselves. So sometimes, even though inside we have a certain natural inclination or attraction in a relationship, a fire or something that we do, so we can't rely on that. There needs to be both. There needs to be a powerful fire that we need to acknowledge what we're born with, what we're given. And there needs to be a fire that we take time to make sure that we create with our own effort, with our own hands. So sometimes in life, you see that you look back at those things that are most important, and you say, I lost that fire. And fire, when it's alive and when it's burning, burns through everything. There's no hesitation, there's no obstacles, inner obstacles, outer obstacles, and we say, look, I'm so busy and so distracted. I look back 10 years ago and I really had a fire in this relationship, or I had a passion for what I'm doing, what I'm working in. Now I lost that fire. The message for this week is that even though we may be blessed with a natural fire, we have to make sure that we create that fire. When we have a fire inside, that's the quality that gives us the ability to be happy, to make sacrifices, to overcome obstacles, to have good memory. And we, with our own hands, have to take the time and ask ourselves two questions. Do we have that fire? And are we continuously working to create that fire? That's the thought of the week. Thank you for watching, for your time. Please, if you like this, forward it to any friends, family, anyone you think would be interested. And feel free to email me, let me know how you're doing, what you think, your feedback, your comments. I look forward to speaking with you next week.